although the effect was almost instantaneous and good for 5 hours, or so they'd told him. He trawled the vault, hundreds of steel boxes behind bars, went back to the elevator and ascended to the 4th floor. It was all office accommodation, everything in good order, and it was the same when he went down to the 3rd and then the 2nd floor. Boring, really, to have to spend your working life doing this, but it would soon be over. He returned to the elevator and went down. Smith was slumped across the desk, out completely, the partly drunk coffee cup beside him. The sandwich had a couple of bites out of it, but that was all. Morgan shook him to make sure, then turned to the general security box and switched it off for the entire building. He went along to the restroom, retrieved his bag, got into the elevator, and went to the 2nd floor. When he went out, he dimmed the lights, walked across to the window looking out over Park Avenue to the splendid townhouse on the other side, its many windows ablaze with lights. Parking had been banned for the whole block, and not just because it was owned by Senator Harvey Black. Having switched off the entire alarm system, Morgan was able to open the control panel by the window without any unseemly fuss. He started to whistle softly, put the bag on the table, opened it, and produced an AK-47, unfolded the stock, cocked it, and laid it across the windowsill, checking his watch. It was 20 to 9, and the fundraiser at the pier would just be finishing. Senator Black would be bringing his honoured guest back to the house for dinner at 9 o'clock. Morgan took a pack of cigarettes from his pocket, lit one, and sat there at the open window, cradling the AK-47 with every intention of shooting the President of the United States dead the moment he stepped out on the pavement. Suddenly, he heard the sound of the elevator in operation below. For a moment, he froze in a kind of panic, then jumped to his feet and turned to face the elevator. It stopped, and Smith stepped out, followed by a tall, handsome man of 50 or so, black hair graying. "Why, Henry," Smith said. "What's all this? I didn't see anything about it in the job description." Morgan backed away, thinking hard. There was a pause, and the other man said, "Mr. Morgan, my name is Blake Johnson. I work for the President of the United States. This gentleman is Clancy Smith of the Secret Service. I regret to tell you that the President isn't coming tonight. Seems he canceled the dinner at the last moment and flew back to Washington. So sorry." He stepped forward and, in a single motion, Morgan raised the AK and fired at point-blank range, but only the rattle of the bolt sounded. Smith said, "Forgot to mention, I emptied it when you went down to the vault. By the way, I never accept coffee from strangers." Morgan dropped the AK to the floor with a look of despair on his face. Johnson almost felt sorry for him. "Hell, man, we got Saddam Hussein. Did you really think you could pull this off? Anything to say?" "Yes," Morgan said. "Beware the wrath of Allah." He seemed to bite hard, his jaw tightening. Then he staggered back, tripped and fell to the floor, moaning terribly, his face contorted. There was a strange, pungent smell as Smith dropped to one knee and peered closely at him. He glanced up. "I don't know what in hell that smell is, but this guy's dead." By special arrangement, Blake had the body removed by Army paramedics and conveyed to an exclusive private hospital used mainly for rehab patients. It did, however, offer state-of-the-art morgue facilities, and he'd called in one of New York's finest chief medical examiners, Dr. George Romano, to do the necessary. He and Clancy had stopped off at their hotel so that Clancy could change from the security uniform and arrived at their destination a good hour after the corpse, and found Romano in the superintendent's office already garbed for action. He and Blake were old friends. Romano had done a lot of work for the basement, the White House security organization that Johnson ran. Romano was drinking coffee and smoking. "I thought that was against the law these days, especially for doctors. Around here, I make my own rules, Blake. Who's your friend?" "Clancy Smith, Secret Service. He's taken a bullet for the President in the past. Fortunately, nothing like that was needed tonight. I've started on our friend, Mr. Morgan. Just taking a break." "John Doe, if you don't mind," Blake said. "And what if I do?" Blake turned to Clancy, who opened the briefcase he carried, took out a document, and passed it across to the doctor. "You'll notice that's addressed to one George Romano and signed by President..."